Captain Samantha Wright rubbed her tired eyes as she stared at the computer screen. For 5 years, she had worked at the Earth Defense Force, scanning deep space signals. Most days were the same, nothing but cosmic noise and false alarms. Today was different. "Sir, you need to see this," she called to her supervisor, pointing at the strange pattern on her monitor. The signal came from just beyond Neptune's orbit. It pulsed in a clear pattern, too regular to be natural. After sending the same people to check it 3 times, Samantha knew it was real. Humanity had finally received its first message from aliens. Within hours, the news spread across the world. Scientists worked day and night to decode the message. When they finally understood it, they found a simple request. The aliens wanted to meet Earth's leaders on the dark side of the moon. They call themselves the Galactic Concordat, General Peterson told the emergency United Nations meeting. A group of 17 different alien species who travel between stars. They'd want to talk. After heated debate, the UN chose Commander Jack Miller to lead Earth's first contact team. Jack had served 20 years in the military and had a calm, steady manner that made people trust him. "We need a team with different skills," Jack said as he planned the mission. "Scientists, soldiers, and people who can help us communicate." He selected Dr. Nicole Porter, who specialized in languages, Dr. Alan Rodriguez, who studied alien life, and Major Daniel Harris, a military strategist. Together, they trained for 2 weeks before boarding the spacecraft that would take them to the moon. "What do you think they want?" Daniel asked during the journey. Nicole shrugged. "Maybe trade. Cultural exchange. That's what happens in most first contact stories. Or maybe they want our resources," Daniel said. "We should be ready for anything." The team landed at the chosen spot on the moon's dark side. Through the window of their craft, they saw the alien ship. It was smooth and silver, shaped like a leaf, much larger than their own vessel. Jack checked everyone's space suits one last time. "Remember your training. Stay calm. Follow my lead." They stepped onto the lunar surface and walked toward a door that had opened in the alien ship. Inside, air filled the room and lights glowed softly. A voice spoke in perfect English. "You may remove your helmets. The air is safe for you." After testing the air, the team carefully took off their helmets. A tall being entered the room. It had 4 arms, blue skin that seemed to shimmer, and large eyes that reminded Jack of a dragonfly's. "I am Sarlacc, speaker for the Galactic Concordat," the alien said. "Thank you for coming." Jack stepped forward. "Commander Jack Miller, representing Earth. We are honored to meet you." What happened next surprised everyone. Instead of formal greetings or offers of friendship, Sarlacc dropped to a kneeling position. The alien's large eyes dimmed, and its voice became desperate. "Please," Sarlacc said, "for the safety of all living beings in the galaxy, we beg you, do not leave your solar system. Do not get involved in galactic affairs." The humans looked at each other in confusion. Earth barely had the technology to reach their own moon, let alone travel to other stars. "We don't understand," Jack said carefully. "We pose no threat to you. We haven't even developed faster than light travel." Sarlacc stood, 4 hands clasped together. "We will give you technology for clean energy, medicine to cure your diseases, methods to repair your planet's environment, anything you need to live well within your own system. But promise us you will stay here." Nicole stepped forward. "Why are you so afraid of us?" Sarlacc's large eyes fixed on her. "It isn't what you are now that concerns us, Dr. Porter. It's what you will become." Jack felt a chill despite the controlled temperature. "We deserve to know why you fear us. There are things about humanity that you do not see in yourselves," Sarlacc said quietly. "Things we have learned to recognize. We have seen your kind before, and it never ends well for anyone." The alien reached out with one hand, offering a small device. "This contains information about our proposal. Review it with your leaders. We will return in 7 days for your answer." As they left the ship and returned to their craft, the team remained silent, each lost in thought. Earth had expected to be welcomed to the galactic community. Instead, they had received a desperate plea to stay away. "They're hiding something," Daniel said finally. "Something big." Jack nodded, gripping the alien device. "And we need to find out what it is." News of the alien meeting spread quickly. People around the world watched their televisions and phones as President Lisa Kennedy addressed the nation from the White House. "Today, we face the most important decision in human history," she said. "The aliens have offered us advanced technology in exchange for a promise to stay within our solar system. We must decide if this is a fair trade." In a secure room beneath the United Nations building in New York, Jack Miller and his team showed the alien device to world leaders. The small silver object projected a 3D image showing the Concordat's offer: clean energy systems, medical technology that could cure cancer, machines to remove pollution from the air and oceans. "They're offering to solve our biggest problems," said the British Prime Minister. "But the price is our freedom to explore the stars." Dr. Nicole Porter had been studying the aliens' language and communication style. She stood up to address the room. "The Concordat aliens aren't threatening us," she explained. "They're genuinely afraid. I've analyzed their speech patterns and body language. They're begging, not demanding." Dr. Alan Rodriguez shared his findings next. "I studied the biological data from our meeting. These aliens evolved on planets with low gravity, mild climates, and few predators, unlike Earth, which is harsh and dangerous by comparison." Major Daniel Harris leaned forward. "In military history, you only warn an enemy if you fear them. The question is, what do they know about humans that we don't know ourselves?" Outside the meeting room, people around the world formed their own opinions. Some wanted to accept the aliens' deal, arguing that solving Earth's problems was more important than space travel. Others refused to accept any limits on human exploration. Back in her lab, Samantha Wright analyzed the signal patterns from the alien ship. She discovered something strange. "Commander Miller," she called, "the Concordat isn't just watching Earth. According to these transmission logs, they've been monitoring us for at least 200 years. Jack frowned. 200 years ago, we barely had electricity. Why would advanced aliens care about us back then? Samantha pulled up more data. And they increased their monitoring after every major war. They watched us closely after we developed nuclear weapons. President Kennedy called an emergency meeting with the contact team. "We need answers before they return," she said. "Why are they really so afraid of humans?" Jack played back the recording of Tarlik's words. "We have seen your kind before, and it never ends well for anyone." "What did he mean by your kind?" asked Nicole. "And what happened to the others like us?" The team worked day and night, analyzing every word and gesture from the meeting. Dr. Rodriguez made a breakthrough when studying Earth's environment compared to other planets. "Earth is what scientists call a death world," he explained to the others. "High gravity, extreme weather, dangerous predators, and natural disasters. Any life that evolves here has to be incredibly tough and adaptable." "You think that's what they fear?" asked Jack. "That we're too tough." "Not just tough," said Nicole, understanding dawning on her face. "Think about human history. When faced with a challenge, we don't just survive. We overcome. We adapt. We improve." Daniel nodded slowly. "From a military perspective, that's terrifying. A species that faces every obstacle as a challenge to be beaten rather than a limit to be accepted." The day before the aliens were due to return, President Kennedy made her decision. She called Jack Miller to the Oval Office. "We cannot accept their terms," she said firmly. "Humanity won't be contained out of fear. When they return tomorrow, tell them we want the truth. What happened to the other species like us? Why are they really so afraid?" As Jack prepared for the second meeting, he couldn't shake a feeling of dread. The aliens were hiding something important, something that might change how humanity saw its place in the universe forever. "Whatever they're afraid will become," he told his team as they boarded the shuttle to the moon. "We need to know what it is. For better or worse, We deserve the truth. We cannot accept your terms without knowing the whole truth, Jack said firmly. He stood with his team aboard the Concordat ship in orbit around Mars. After Earth rejected their initial offer, the aliens had reluctantly invited them to this larger vessel. Sarlac's four hands moved nervously as the alien considered Jack's words. Perhaps we can share some information, Sarlacc said finally. Follow me. The humans were led through curved hallways to a room filled with glowing screens. Sarlacc touched a control panel, and the screens lit up with strange symbols. This is our historical database, the alien explained. We will grant you limited access. Dr. Nicole Porter brought along two new team members, physicist Dr. Olivia Watson and historian Professor Gary Mitchell. They began studying the alien records, with Sarlacc providing translation help. After several hours, Olivia called the others to her screen. Her face was pale. Earth isn't the first death world they've found, she said quietly. There have been others. Planets with high gravity, extreme weather, and dangerous predators. Places where life had to fight to survive. Gary pointed to another section of data. And the species from those worlds, they call them survival aggressive intelligences. There were 5 others before us. What happened to them? Jack asked, though he feared the answer. All 5 developed space travel, Gary continued. All 5 expanded quickly through their regions of space, and all 5 started wars that killed billions. Nicole had been studying another screen. The last one was called the Orcs. Within 200 years of achieving space travel, they conquered nearly a third of the known galaxy. The Concordat fears will follow the same path, Jack realized. That's why they want to contain us. Dr. Rodriguez discovered files analyzing human psychology and history. They've been watching us for centuries, he said. They've seen our world wars, our nuclear weapons, how quickly we develop new technology. But what scares them most is our adaptability. Olivia added, our ability to overcome challenges that would stop other species. Jack found Sarlacc watching them from across the room. Is this why you fear us? Because of what happened with these other species. Sarlacc's large eyes dimmed. Your kind sees every problem as something to be solved, every boundary as something to be crossed. The Orcs were the same. They could not accept limitations. That doesn't mean we'll follow the same path, Nicole argued. Your species is advancing faster than any we've encountered, Sarlacc replied. According to our predictions, you'll develop faster than light travel within 50 years, without our help. The team asked for privacy to discuss this information. They gathered in a small room, speaking in hushed voices. What should we tell Earth? Gary asked. This could cause panic or aggression, Daniel added, proving their fears correct. We tell the truth, Jack decided. Humanity deserves to know why we're being contained. Before they could leave, alarms blared throughout the ship. Sarlacc rushed into the room. We're receiving an emergency signal, the alien said, voice shaking. Our observation post on Europa has been attacked. The humans followed Sarlacc to the command center. On the main screen, they saw a Europa base under fire from strange ships. Those aren't Concordat vessels, Daniel noted. Who are they? Sarlacc frantically worked the controls. Impossible. They can't be here. The screen showed the Europa base exploding. Then the transmission cut out. We need to return to Earth immediately, Jack said. Whatever's happening. A massive blast rocked their ship. Warning lights flashed everywhere. We're under attack, Sarlacc shouted. The same ships that destroy our Europa base. Through the viewports, they saw 3 dark, angular vessels, completely different from the smooth Concordat designs. They fired again, and part of the ship tore away. Get to the escape pods, Sarlacc ordered. Return to Earth. Warn them. What about you? Nicole asked. I will try to send a distress call to the Concordat, Sarlacc replied. Now go. The humans raced to the escape pod as the ship shuddered around them. As they launched toward Earth, They watched the Concordat vessel break apart under enemy fire. "Who are they?" Olivia whispered. "Why would they attack?" Jack stared at the attacking ships. "I don't know, but I think Earth is about to be pulled into the very galactic conflict the Concordat wanted to keep us out of." As their pod sped toward home, none of them noticed the small tracking device attached to their hull, silently reporting their course to the unknown attackers. The escape pod crashed into the Pacific Ocean. Within hours, Navy ships picked up Jack and his team. The Concordat ship was destroyed. Jack reported to President Kennedy in the White House Situation Room. Sarlacc stayed behind to send a distress call. "We don't know if he survived, and we have no idea who attacked them," the president asked. "None," Daniel replied. "But they targeted the Concordat specifically. First their base on Europa, then their ship." The world changed overnight. News of the attack spread quickly. Some people panicked, fearing Earth would be next. Others demanded the military prepare for war against unknown aliens. Admiral Laura Bennett, commander of the newly formed Space Defense Fleet, addressed the Joint Chiefs of Staff. "We have 12 orbital platforms and 24 armed satellites," she explained. "Not nearly enough if those ships decide to attack Earth." In a secret lab beneath Colorado, scientists had been studying the technology the Concordat had already shared. Dr. Watson led the team analyzing the alien devices. "The Concordat gave us clean energy systems," she told the president during a secure video call. "But we've been improving them, making them more powerful in ways the aliens never tried." "Because they feared the results," Jack suggested. "Exactly," Olivia nodded. "They designed technology to be safe and stable. We push it to its limits." President Kennedy authorized the activation of prototype defense systems based on the modified alien technology. Military bases around the world prepared for possible attack. Meanwhile, Ryan Cooper, an intelligence specialist, analyzed the data recovered from the destroyed Concordat ship. "The attackers weren't part of the Concordat," he reported. "Based on their communication patterns, they're a completely different species." "Could they be one of the other Death World species?" Jack asked. "Like the Kreks?" "Possibly," Ryan said. "Or someone with a grudge against the Concordat's containment policies." Dr. Rodriguez studied trace biological evidence from the attack. After days of work, he made a discovery. The attackers evolved on a high-gravity world. He announced to the emergency committee. "Their biology shows adaptations similar to what we might develop if humans colonized a heavy world. They're another survival aggressive intelligence." For 6 tense days, Earth waited. Military forces remained on high alert. Scientists worked around the clock to improve defenses. The public was told to stay calm, but many people stocked up on food and supplies, fearing the worst. On the 7th day, it happened. Massive ships appeared in orbit around Earth, 3 of them, dark and angular like those that had attacked the Concordat vessel. Each one was larger than an aircraft carrier. Every military radar and satellite focused on the alien vessels. Fighter jets scrambled. Ground-based weapons locked on. "They're broadcasting a message," Ryan reported from the communications center. All around the world, on every television, radio, and phone, the same message played. "This is Commander Vrax of the Hegemony. Your world has been selected for cleansing. The mistake of allowing another Death World species to develop will not be repeated." In the Situation Room, the president turned to Jack. "What does that mean?" "Cleansing." Jack's face was grim. "They're going to try to wipe us out. The Concordat wanted to contain us. These hegemony aliens want to eliminate us completely." Admiral Bennett reported from Space Command headquarters. "The alien ships are launching smaller vessels, hundreds of them, heading toward our atmosphere." President Kennedy stood up, her decision made. "Launch everything we have. Activate all defense systems. We will not go quietly." Around the world, humanity prepared for its first interstellar war. The weapons they had developed based on Concordat technology were untested against these new enemies. No one knew if Earth stood a chance. Jack stared at the screens showing the approaching alien fleet. The Concordat feared what humanity might become, he said quietly. I think we're about to show them. The hegemony ships loomed in Earth's orbit like dark shadows. Their smaller attack vessels cut through the atmosphere, heading toward major cities. Our missiles aren't working, Admiral Bennett reported. They're being destroyed before they get close to the alien ships. In Houston, Chief Engineer Frank Russell watched the radar screens with growing dread. For months, his team had been modifying Concordat shield technology. Now it was their only hope. The Concordat built their tech to be safe and stable. Frank told his team, we need to make it more human. Around the world, scientists and engineers worked frantically. They weren't just using alien technology. They were improving it, pushing it in ways the aliens had never imagined. The first hegemony landing ships touched down in Central Australia. Soldiers in heavy armor marched out, expecting little resistance from a primitive planet. Instead, they faced Earth's experimental weapons. The aliens retreated, surprised by the effectiveness of humanity's defense. They didn't expect us to understand their technology, Daniel told the president. They thought we'd be helpless. In Geneva, Dr. Watson's team made a breakthrough. The Concordat shields use quantum harmonics, she explained over a secure video call. But if we reverse the energy flow and amplify it using our particle accelerators, what happens? President Kennedy asked. It creates a wave that could disable their ships, Olivia replied. But we've never tested it on this scale. Do it, the president ordered. In orbit, Admiral Bennett coordinated Earth's counterattack. The Space Defense Fleet wasn't designed to fight advanced alien warships, but they didn't need to win, just buy time. Jack Miller worked with Ryan Cooper to decode hegemony communications. They're confused by our resistance, Jack reported. According to their models, we shouldn't be able to damage their ships at all. As hegemony forces landed in more locations, Brazil, Russia, South Africa, they met increasingly effective resistance. Humanity was adapting to their tactics, learning their weaknesses. President Kennedy authorized the deployment of what scientists called the Prometheus Protocol, the most dangerous and untested of humanity's new weapons. Based on Concordat power systems, but redesigned by human engineers, it might disrupt the quantum fields of hegemony vessels. If this works, Olivia warned, it will affect all advanced technology in orbit, including our own satellites. We have no choice, the president replied. As technicians prepared to activate the Prometheus Protocol, Dr. Porter detected new signals. There's another fleet approaching, she announced. Concordat ships. All eyes turned to the monitors. A fleet of the smooth, silver Concordat vessels had appeared at the edge of the solar system, moving rapidly toward Earth. Are they coming to help us or finish us off? Daniel wondered. No one had time to consider this. The hegemony launched a massive attack on the Prometheus facility in Colorado. Their ships broke through Earth's defenses, heading straight for the complex. We can't wait any longer, Frank said from the control room. It's now or never. With the president's authorization, he activated the Prometheus Protocol. A wave of energy rippled outward from Earth, invisible but powerful. In orbit, the effect was immediate. The hegemony ships froze in space, their systems disabled. Their attack craft fell from the sky, powerless. But the energy wave didn't stop. It continued expanding outward, reaching the approaching Concordat fleet. Their vessels too went dark, drifting helplessly in space. In the stunned silence that followed, Jack stared at the monitors. Did we just win? We did more than that, Olivia said in amazement. We just neutralized two advanced alien civilizations simultaneously. Around the world, people emerged from shelters to see the disabled alien ships falling like shooting stars across the sky. Some crashed into uninhabited areas. Others were captured by military forces. From the disabled hegemony command ship came a transmission. Commander Vrax's voice was filled with disbelief. Impossible. You've only had our technology for months. What have you done? Both alien fleets hung powerless in space. On Earth, world leaders gathered to decide what to do next. We've captured several hegemony soldiers, General Harris reported, and we've established communication with both disabled fleets. From the Concordat flagship came a familiar voice. Sarlacc had survived. This is precisely why we warned you to stay isolated, the alien said, his voice carrying across the United Nations chamber. In mere months, you've weaponized technology that took us centuries to develop for peaceful purposes. From the Hegemony command ship, Commander Vrax offered his own view. Our studies showed your species would require decades to understand our technology. You've done it in months. The containment protocols were justified. President Kennedy addressed both alien commanders. You both made the same critical error. You underestimated us because you feared us. Admiral Bennett presented evidence recovered from captured hegemony data systems. The hegemony has been working with certain Concordat members to eliminate Earth before we developed space travel. They weren't protecting the galaxy from us. They were protecting themselves. In a secure lab, Dr. Porter had been translating both Concordat and hegemony historical records. I found something important, she told the Emergency Council. The Concordat isn't a natural alliance of species. It's a collection of worlds conquered and controlled by the hegemony long ago. Jack confronted Sarlacc directly through the communication link. There never were other Death World species that caused galactic wars, were there? The hegemony is the only other one. They've been using you as puppets to eliminate potential rivals before they can develop. The silence from both alien commanders confirmed the truth. Dr. Watson explained her discovery. The Prometheus Protocol didn't just disable their ships. It gave us access to their complete databases. We now know everything about both groups, about the galaxy, and about other worlds they've contained before they could threaten hegemony control. For 3 days, Earth's leaders debated what to do with this new information and the disabled alien fleets. Some wanted to destroy them completely. Others argued for mercy. On the 4th day, President Kennedy made her decision. She addressed the world and the watching alien commanders. We now understand the true nature of galactic politics. For thousands of years, the hegemony has used the Concordat to identify and eliminate potential rivals. Any species that evolved on a challenging world like Earth was seen as a threat. She paused, looking directly at the camera. But we are not like the hegemony. We will not destroy you, though we have the power to do so. Instead, we offer a choice. To the Concordat, she offered freedom from hegemony control. To the hegemony, she offered peace, if they agreed to end their policy of containing or destroying emerging species. In orbit, engineers had figured out how to selectively restore power to the alien ships. One by one, Concordat vessels regained limited function. The hegemony ships remained disabled. Sarlacc requested to speak with Jack directly. The alien's image appeared on the screen, looking somehow different, less fearful. We truly believed we were protecting the galaxy, Sarlacc said. The hegemony told us stories of terrible wars caused by species like yours. Now we know those stories were lies. What will you do now? Jack asked. Many Concordat worlds will welcome freedom from hegemony control, Sarlacc replied. But we fear their retaliation if they regain power. Jack smiled. Then we'll have to make sure that doesn't happen. On the final day of negotiations, the Concordat agreed to form a new alliance with Earth. Together, they would free the other contained worlds and create a true galactic community based on cooperation, not fear. Commander Vrax, seeing the hegemony's power slipping away, made one final threat. You don't understand what you're doing. There are more hegemony fleets. They will come for you. President Kennedy's response was calm but firm. Let them come. Now we know what humanity can really do. 1 year after the failed hegemony invasion, Earth had changed completely. The combined knowledge from Concordat and hegemony databases had advanced human technology by centuries. The first true human interstellar ship, the Aea's Liberty, sat ready in its orbital dock. Captain Samantha Wright, chosen to command this historic mission, inspected the vessel one final time. "Beautiful, isn't she?" Frank Russell asked, joining her on the observation deck. "More than beautiful," Samantha replied. "She represents everything we've accomplished." The Liberty's mission was not exploration or conquest. It would travel to a planet called Toronto, home to another contained species that was close to developing space travel. Down on Earth, in the new United Nations Galactic Affairs Building, Jack Miller prepared for his new role. As Earth's first galactic ambassador, he would travel on the Liberty to meet with other species. "Nervous?" Nickel asked, finding him staring out the window. "A little," he admitted. "A year ago, we didn't even know aliens existed. Now we're building an alliance with them." Dr. Rodriguez and Dr. Watson had made incredible advances in understanding alien biology and physics. The hegemony didn't just fear our adaptability. Alan explained during the Liberty's mission briefing. They feared our empathy, our ability to work with different species as equals, not subjects. General Harris, promoted after the invasion, had reorganized Earth's defenses. "We're not building an empire," he told the military council. "We're creating a real alliance of free worlds, what the Concordat claimed to be but never was." On the day of the Liberty's launch, Sarlacc requested a meeting with President Kennedy and the mission leaders. The alien who once begged humanity to stay isolated seemed different now, more confident, less afraid. "We feared what humanity might become," Sarlacc admitted. "We never considered what you might help us become." The hegemony controlled through fear for thousands of years. In 1 year, you've begun dismantling their system through cooperation. Around the world, people gathered to watch the Liberty's departure. Screens in every city showed the ship powering up its engines, a modified version of Concordat technology improved by human engineers. Inside the ship, Captain Wright addressed her crew. "We are not going as conquerors or saviors. We're going as messengers and allies." The Liberty's engines glowed blue as they activated. Slowly at first, then with increasing speed, the ship moved away from Earth. When it reached the edge of the solar system, it engaged its faster-than-light drive, disappearing in a flash of light. Back on Earth, 2 more interstellar ships were already under construction. Teams of human and Concordat scientists worked together, sharing ideas and improving each other's designs. In a secure facility, Commander Vrax remained under guard. He had refused to cooperate at first, but recently had started to show interest in human history. "I don't understand," he told Jack during a final visit before the ambassador left Earth. "By all our models, species like yours always choose domination." "That's where you made your mistake," Jack replied. "You assumed we would act like you." The hegemony evolved on a harsh world and chose to use their strength to control others. We evolved on a harsh world and learned that cooperation helps us survive. As Jack prepared to join the Liberty at its first destination, he thought about the strange journey that had brought humanity to this point. The aliens had begged Earth not to get involved because they feared what humanity could do. They were right to be afraid, but not for the reasons they thought. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't its aggression or adaptability. It was its refusal to accept artificial limits, its drive to question authority, and its ability to transform enemies into allies. The galaxy was about to discover what humanity could really do, not conquer or destroy, but unite and build something better than had ever existed before. As the Liberty traveled toward its destination, carrying the hopes of Earth and many other worlds, the message it broadcast was simple: we come as friends. The age of fear is over.